Hey guys, Cronus Falls here, and today I am doing an account rework for Ryberkeley here. So Ryberkeley has been in the game for, I want to say about 2 months now. Let me see, where are we at in the daily logins? We are about to hit day 58, so yeah, we're going on 2 months now. And he has been making some pretty good progress. He is level 56, getting close to that 60 mark, although that's no longer the cap, obviously. So, it looks like, from what I've seen, he is hitting the hard clan boss at the moment. I don't think he's done any runs today. He has not, so he's leaving that for us to do. So he does want us to have a look at his clan boss team. We're also going to be looking at Arena here, so let's take a look at what he's running. We do have Fushan as our lead, which is good. We've got Stagnite, Roshard, and Rotos. That is not bad at all. So, we do not have a turn meter booster, though. We may want to get Apothecary in there to go for a more speed style, because like this, we do have the speed lead, but no booster, which is going to actually take a toll on us a little bit here. I believe Apothecary's his only booster. We do have a Skull Crusher here, I'm just noticing, so that is cool. That should definitely help out with the clan boss. Anything else going on? We've got an Aothar, which is cool. Yeah, so we've got some good champions in here. Let's take a look at what the clan boss team was real quick. So if we come here, looks like we are running Tyrell, Juliana, Kale, Apothecary, and Rotos. That is pretty good here. We've got all of the elements. We've got decreased attack, decreased defense. We've got speed, we got poison, more decreased defense and damage. So, pretty good, pretty good. One issue that I'm noticing is not a lot of the champs are ascended, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. But we can definitely work around that. So, let's go ahead and see here. Dungeons next. So basically this is going to be an all-around rework, but we are going to be focusing mostly on the clan boss and arena. I am going to take a look at the dungeons though. Looks like he is grinding masteries properly. As far as Ice Golem goes, looks like we've gotten to 17. Spiders, we are up to 11. Dragon, we are up to 17. And Fire Knight, we are up to 10. Okay, so let's see. I think Dragon's definitely going to be the most important one for us to move forward on. And then we will see about others. If he can get to Dragon 20, then that's going to help him a lot in his grind here to up his team powers. So let's go ahead and look at gear now. So we'll go ahead and filter. First things first, just find all of these flat stats about. So we do have quite a few here, which is unfortunate. We're going to be getting rid of pretty much all of this, so let's just get started on that. Don't need any of these here. Yeah, nothing in any of these. The only thing we would have potentially kept would be if we were looking in the speed set and there were some gloves or chest with a speed roll. It was like an epic or something, then we might have kept it, but yeah, none of this stuff is going to be worth it here. Especially in all of these offsets. There is quite a bit though. I wonder how much gear he has in total. We'll have to see that in a second. Wow, yeah, there is quite a bit. That's unfortunate, getting a 6-star legendary divine life and getting a flat stat on it. Same with the boots. Alright, so that's 94 pieces off the bat, another 2 million silver to work with, so that is down the drain. Let's go ahead and check anything new. We can get rid of all of those. Let's see. Ooh, those are pretty good. That's cool. So we are done with that. We have 393 pieces in total, so not a ton to work with here. I think I'm going to leave it at that as far as the cleanse goes, just because there's not a whole lot of pieces, so I'm not going to be able to be picky at all. He's got plenty of room still to build up a good arsenal of weapons, so let's just get on to the gearing. So I guess first things first, I'm going to focus on clan boss. Like I said, he did seem to have a Skull Crusher here. He does, so... I could level him. He said he should have food to bring up... Yeah, he does, okay. So we have enough to bring up at least 1, maybe 2 champions to 6-star. So that is good to know. Looks like just 1. We're 1 short of another. That's cool. I think Skull Crusher is definitely going to be one that we're going to want to level up. That's going to help us a lot in the Fire Knight, as well as the clan boss. We do have a Skull Crown here too. So some very good champions coming up. I see Julie's actually only 5-star and he's using her, which is interesting. She's not really good for a counterattack strategy, although we don't have a lot of good poisoners in here. Areni's is actually alright for that. Oh, we have Frozen Banshee. Yeah, so she's definitely coming in. Those may be, if, let's see, do we have another 5-star food? Doesn't look like it. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and 6-star the Skull Crusher as we go along, and then we will see down the line he can go ahead and 6-star the Frozen Banshee as well. But that'll be cool. That's going to help us out a lot. I think we're going to try and go for a brutal counterattack strategy, so we would speed to 161. The only thing I'm worried about is the accuracy as far as the gear goes, because we don't have a lot of banners. We do have a lot of blue accuracy here. If we did go counterattack, who would come in though? Tyrell would come in, Frozen Banshee would come in. That's the thing, Rotos is probably the biggest form of damage he has going right now, but he's not great in a counterattack setup. Whirlim could potentially come in. And maybe Stag or Rochard? I don't know. I don't know if Rochard is good in a counterattack team like that. That's on a 4-turn cooldown. Honestly, he doesn't do that much else for us. Miscreated Monster, though, could potentially come in, give us some ally protection. He is not ascended. That's okay, though. So yeah, we'll play around with it a little bit, see what we can get done. But let's go ahead and get into the gearing now. I'm going to cut here, and I will come back in once we have the champions geared. Alright, so we have finished with the re-gearing. So what I've done is I got Skull Crusher and Frozen Banshee up to 6-star here. We did have 1 chicken, so that was how we were able to get the Frozen Banshee up as well. Leveled them up to 50 here. Obviously the grind to 60 is going to be a lot longer, so I will just leave that for him to do. So first thing I noticed going through, no masteries. She doesn't have them. Skull Crusher doesn't have them. Miscreated Monster does. I went ahead and switched these up a little bit to get him into War Master so that we can do the proper damage to the clan boss. No masteries on Whirlim and not full masteries on Tyrell. So this is going to be on Brutal. I'm not expecting it to be a super high key for that reason, and for the reason that we don't have accuracy banners on anyone. Frozen Banshee's at 91, Miscreated Monster's at 61, Whirlim's at 27, our Tyrell's at 115. But yeah, we just really do not have one. We have attack here. So this build is going to have a lot of room for improvement. The nice thing is, though, if we look at the builds here, they should all be properly speed tuned for Brutal. So 162, 169, Tyrell is going to be 167, Whirlim is at 168, Miscreated Monster's at 172, which I think is okay. I'm not 100% sure, though, because I've never speed tuned for Brutal before. So I think 172 should be alright, but we will find out. So improvements going forward, obviously the gear needs to be rolled up. We only had 10 million silver to work with, so I'm just rolling stuff to 12, except for boots. In speed, I will roll to 16. But yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and give this a shot here. Our Tyrell's looking about 3k defense almost. Our Whirlim is at almost 3k, 2800. This Creative Monster is at almost 60k HP. And then our Skull Crusher here is at about 2400 defense, but at the right speed. And finally, our Frozen Banshee is at about 2,500 defense. We do have her in defense percent everything here with a defense ring and defense necklace. So obviously none of these builds are super good. They're not in game. We didn't have a ton of gear to work with. 300, about 400 pieces, I would say. But I think this should be all right to take into a run now. Let's go ahead and come over here to Brutal and just give it a shot. So we are going to go ahead and take these guys out. Go ahead and put, let's see, we want Tyrell first, you second, let's put you third, and then that. All right, cool. So we got our decreased attack coming out first, then our poisons, then our miscreated monster, Whirlim, and Skull Crusher. Now, one thing I'm worried about without the accuracy banner is that Frozen Banshee is just not going to be able to land anything here, because if she doesn't land her poison sensitivity, then she is not going to get her poisons up. So a little bit worrying. Also, most of them are not in lifesteal. I just didn't have really any to work with. So this run, like I said, has a lot of room for improvement, but we're just going to get an initial test going here and see how it goes. So come in here, just throw it on auto. We should be able to get it all. Yeah, so let's see here. Tyrell should get us our decreased attack. He does. We do get poisons going. All right, so the accuracy might not be too bad. We do seem to be landing stuff, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead. Maybe I should have put Frozen Banshee as the lead. I'm not sure. She doesn't have that high of defense like Tyrell, so she wouldn't be able to take as many hits, but the increased accuracy might be worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and do another run after this one and test that out and just see what kind of difference it makes. But for now, I'm going to let this run through to the end and we'll see what kind of damage we do. Alright, so we're at the end here. We did about 5 million on Brutal, which I believe is just short of a 4 key. Yes, it is. Alright, so before he said he was able to 3 key hard. So that means he was doing about 4 million per key on hard, give or take. So that is definitely an improvement there. Like I said, though, I'm not sure. Well, I haven't said this yet. I was thinking it. I'm not sure this account is quite ready yet as far as a counterattack team goes. We do need a lot of lifesteal gear coming in here. Basically, all 3 of these guys need to be in lifesteal. Skull Crusher ended up dying early because he does not have War Master. So basically what happens is his lifesteal is not enough to sustain him, and therefore he ends up taking the stun and going down, which throws us out of rotation. So still, I mean, 5 million's not that bad. I don't know if Tyrell is booked either. He is, okay. It seemed like this was not landing very often, so that is surprising. But that is good. So let's go ahead and do another run where we stick Frozen Banshee in the front and see how that goes. Alright, so we're coming up right on the end of the run here, and it looks like it's going to be pretty much the same amount of damage, 4.5 million this time. So one thing that I noticed is we were falling out of rotation a little bit. I think Miscreated Monster might need to be a little bit slower. Let me go ahead and check something real quick though. So Miscreated Monster, I made sure to get rid of any turn meter boosting masteries, so we're not worried about that. Let's see. Yeah, he is at 172, which I thought might be okay. That might not be though. What about our Tyrell? He does have a turn meter boosting thing here, so that might be an issue going forward. We would have to re-roll these, but I'll go ahead and wait until he's fully built up, and then we can go ahead and get those. As far as Skull Crusher and Frozen Banshee go, they don't have masteries, so we don't have to worry about anything there. They are running at the correct speeds, so it does have the potential to run well. So basically right now we're doing a little bit less than a 4 key without any masteries working for us really, besides Miscreated Monster, and without lifesteal. So I think this team, honestly, if we could get the lifesteal and masteries going, could easily 2 key, and down the line with better gear, potentially 1 key. So what I'm going to say to you, Ryberkeley, is you want to emulate these builds for Brutal, but you need to get the lifesteal gear to do it. So just farm Dragon, get stuff where you can get to this speed. Higher accuracy is definitely necessary, but you can get most of that out of getting accuracy banners from Spider if you can. And that should really do it for you. I think for Brutal, you probably need somewhere in the vicinity of 160 accuracy to be really solid for Brutal. So at even a level 4 accuracy banner would be perfectly fine to get Tyrell there. As far as speed goes, it needs to be above 161. I'm not sure what the upper limit is for Brutal, but if Miscreated Monster's too fast, then it might need to be below 169. So we shall see on that. But that's going to be it for the Clan Boss team this time. Let's go ahead and take a look at Arena now, because that's what he's asked us to check out. So, like I said, he was running Fushan, Stag, Roshard, and Rotos. So let's take a look at those builds. So our Fushan here, first thing you notice, extremely slow. He does not have speed boots. Oh my gosh, look at all of these flat stats we got going on here. So we're going to have to take him out of those. Let's see, what else can we do? I mean, that's just him. Let's take a look at Rotos. He's in 6 pieces of Relentless Gear, which is unnecessary. No speed boots. Doesn't need an accuracy chest. And flat defense on the gloves. Again, not what we're looking for. Oh, he does have an accuracy banner. So that is going to be Frozen Banshees. Let's go ahead and just yoink that. Boom. Alright, Frozen Banshee's already looking way better. And she is already in lifesteal, so her build's actually pretty good. If you get all this rolled up, I think she will be looking solid for Brutal. Let's go ahead and take a look at Roshard here. Actually, let's take a look. Do we have any other banners? We have an attack banner. It's 3 stars. I'm not going to roll it up. Roshard here, actually not looking too bad on speed, 185. Doesn't really need the accuracy, but it is good for him to block cooldowns, so 177 is not bad, especially for where this account is right now. Roshard's honestly looking really good as far as total stats go, but that's literally just because he's in 6-star legendary speed gear. None of these main stats are good at all. And we could get him looking a lot better if we have the gear to do it. So something like these gloves would be really good for him. What else do we have? Yeah, see, we've got these rolled up to 16. They have 31 accuracy on them. They're going to have to go down the line. I forget who I took these off of, but yeah. So basically what we need the most in this account right now is just dragon runs. Like, it seems like you've bought a bunch of the gear packs in order to get these, which I really would not suggest doing going forward. Gear packs are honestly the worst use of your money in Raid Shadow Legends. If you're going to buy something, energy packs are typically the best. Shard packs if you're looking to pull some RNG there. But you end up with a lot of pieces like this from gear packs that just are not worth your time. So try to stay away from those as much as possible. And yeah, see, we just don't have the gear here to make a huge improvement. The shield's actually not too bad. It doesn't have any speed on it though. We do have some speed on the helmet. No speed on there. Where's all our speed coming from? Okay, so we've got 20 here from glyphs, so that's where 20 of it is coming from, and then we've got 14 coming from the helmet, and all the rest is just coming from the speed sets, plus I'm guessing Laura Steel. Yep. Alright, so Roshard here, I'm not going to mess with just because his stats are not too bad as it stands, and we don't have a lot of gear to work with to replace it. So let's look at Stag here. Again, some sort of gear set. This one's Divine Offense, and yeah, those gloves are no good. The chest here, no good. The boots are actually really good, but not particularly for Stag Knight. You would want those for someone in like a clan boss scenario where you're getting defense % boots and you're going for a specific speed tune. So definitely not going to get rid of those. I just wouldn't suggest them for him. but we don't have a lot of speed boots to work with here. I think we might just leave that for now. So basically the biggest problem with the arena team that I'm seeing is the speed. So we are going to need to fix that. Apothecary, yikes. So he doesn't have any sort of HP percent or defense percent coming through on these pieces, and no speed boots. So there is definitely a lot of work to be done here, and we don't have the silver to do it all. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and just say from this point what I think needs to be done, because I don't want to invest all the rest of your silver. Here you've got about 3 million left in pieces that I don't think you're going to be using for very long. So from this point, I would say what you need to do is just come in and first of all, you need to get your apothecary into some better gear here. He needs at least HP percent and probably defense percent if you could get it, with good speed rolls. So he's going pretty slow here. I did take his shield off, so he was going a little faster, but speed boots are the biggest thing on apothecary. You absolutely need them. So if you can get some in the speed set, that'd be amazing. Apothecary is going to go with you into every dungeon pretty much, so it's worth investing in him. As far as your Fushan goes, he needs some better stuff as well. He needs a speed to come up. Basically everyone here needs to be in speed boots, so that's where the farming is really going to come in, because you don't have a whole lot. If we take a look here, come into the boots, go speed. This is everything that he has that isn't already equipped. So I mean, they don't have great substats. They're only like 4 stars, which is fine. 4 stars are fine for quite a while, but you do want some in good sets, because these are all offsets right now, except for like the defense. Actually, those are resistance. Sorry, the defense ones here are pretty decent. But yeah, so I guess this kind of turned into a little bit of an advice video towards the end here, because he did want help looking at the arena, but I don't think that's going to be the best use of his silver right now. Let's take a look at dungeons and just see what he's running. So Dragon, we're going against 19 here. So first of all, Apothecary needs to come in here for you. You don't... You probably do need Rhodos and Kale, because they are not built to their best ability. Kale actually doesn't look too bad here, but he's missing accuracy again, so he's not going to be landing his poison, so he's actually not really helping us here. So we're going to pull him out. We want Miscreated Monster in. He's going to be doing a lot for us. Rochard is an interesting choice. Tyrell also probably not going to be in here for this one. What do we want to bring in? We could potentially bring our Skull Crusher in now. No, Apothecary. Apothecary has to come in, but he's going to get targeted because this is red. Anything we can do about that? Not really. Rochard will hopefully be able to keep us going though. I don't know if he's booked or not. Can I check that? He is booked. Okay, so if he can get this up on us pretty consistently, we should be looking okay. Let's just go ahead and give this a run and see kind of how it goes. But I think this is the team that I would probably suggest trying to progress with at the moment. Miscreated Monster is just amazing in Dragon and in dungeons in general. He comes in there, does a lot for you as far as keeping your team alive goes. That ally protection is clutch. I forgot to put a shield on Apothecary, so he's going to be quite a bit weaker now than he should be. But so far the waves are going okay. I think Rochard should be getting his block damage back right now, which he did. That's cool. So that's really going to help us a lot, the block damage, as far as going through these dungeons. Between that and the ally protection for Miscreated Monster, we have a lot of protection going on. If a big hit does happen to come through, though, we do not have a reviver, so that would kind of be the end of us. But we are looking pretty strong here coming through the first wave. Hopefully that keeps up on the second. The only thing I'm worried about is Rochard might use his block damage right before we go into the next wave, causing us to not have it for 3 turns there. But he does not, so we're looking pretty good. come through here. We've got our ally protection up now. Let's see if we get our block damage. I think we're about to here, maybe. Ooh, Miscreated Monster taking a lot of hits, but the block damage comes in, so he gets a heal from Apothecary, and we are looking solid. So, as far as the waves go, we're looking alright. I think the big challenge is going to be actually when we get to the boss. I'm not sure what masteries are looking like across the board here. I know Miscreated Monsters and War Master, but beyond that, I'm really not sure. Hopefully, our Apothecaries and Giant Slayer, we will see here. Alright, so it's interesting if they're focusing more on Miscreated Monster. I guess because he doesn't have an ally protection up, although that one went for Apothecary, so not sure exactly what's going on as far as how they're deciding who to target. The block damage comes up right there, so we're looking pretty good. He does get another turn in. If he can get one more in before we go into the dragon fight, I think we'll be looking pretty solid. He does. So now I think we'll get block damage up at a pretty good time throughout the fight. Or actually, we might even get it at the very start here, which wouldn't be ideal. We do, so that's going to probably wear off before we actually take this hit. If it had waited one more turn, that would have been perfect. But we take the stun. So yeah, we just don't have the damage to get through those right now. I don't think it was even close. Doesn't look like we really have War Master on anyone. Block damage comes up, so we don't take anything there. The poisons aren't going to do anything to us either. Roshard's actually a pretty good carry. I've never really used him before, but he is doing pretty well for us. If our Apothecary was faster and we were getting that back around from him more often, I think we'd be looking really good. There we go, it comes back up again, so we're not going to take any damage here on the stun. But we're just barely moving through the dragon's health at all at this point. So, yeah, I think that's going to be our main point of contention as far as moving forward, is just getting into builds where we can actually do damage to the dragon himself. Because I believe those inhales do more damage to us every time he uses them, which is not going to be good for us in the long term. Apothecary can't keep up this healing by himself. Roshard's not going to be able to block this damage here, so we're probably going to take a pretty big hit and wipe a couple people. There it goes. Yeah, so we lost Miscreated there. So I don't think we're going to be able to do this. We're already at the 4-minute mark, and we haven't even gotten him down halfway. So let's take a look at the builds on the masteries. So yeah, obviously Apothecary needs a shield. Let me check that real quick. I think we have something in here that'll work for him. I don't need accuracy. That just says flat. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go with this. We'll just roll that up to 12. See if we can get some good speed rolls on it. Hopefully. There's one, so it's already a good piece. 9 speed on it is pretty solid for an Apothecary. And boom, 14. Alright, so yeah, that's going to be a pretty good shield for him going forward. Hopefully it rolls like some defense percent or something like that. That would be optimal. But still looking pretty good as it is. We're probably going to want to get Apothecary into our arena team going forward as well. I didn't really go over the setup too much on that yet because we were talking about gear. Resistance, that's unfortunate. But let's look at masteries. So Apothecary's masteries are not done. That's good to know. So Giant Slayer is what he's going to be working towards here, I assume. As far as Rotos goes, he has Helm Smasher, so he is built purely for arena. That's fine. Rotos can do plenty of damage without War Master. Roshard does not have War Master. He's not even in the offense tree. Looks like he's building him for arena. If you're going to be using him in dungeons like that, you are going to want to put him into offense masteries instead so he can contribute to the clan boss damage. You're not built fully either. He wasn't in the fight, but he will be in future dragon fights because Stagnite is not going to be good against 20, unfortunately. He also does not have War Master. And Fushan is here in Helm Smasher as well. Alright, so I don't think we're going to be able to progress anymore today, unfortunately, as far as dungeons go. But let's just take a look at everything that we can go over to make this account successful going forward. So Ice Golem, this team looks alright. You do want Apothecary in here though, probably instead of Mausoleum Mage. So I would do something like that potentially. And I think you'd be looking pretty solid going in there. You could, if you wanted, actually, first of all, Apothecary would go in the lead position. And then depending on how much damage you have coming out, Kale could potentially come out for Mausoleum Mage. Or actually, I think that would be a little bit stronger going in. Miscreated Monster is just a heck of a carry. So yeah, this is probably what I would run if I were coming through here. Just depending on how well he does. Roshard seems like he can be quite a good carry with that block damage, so I think he's a good choice in here. Once we get on to 19, which I think is Force, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so against 19, you'd probably want to pull out the Miscreated Monster, maybe someone like a Whirlim, and Apothecary would stay in there. I think that would still be fine. Rotos is really good against the Ice Golems, so no worries there. And then Dragon, we just saw the team that I would run. Once you get to 20, I would probably do something more like that. I think would be fine. If the gear gets better, you could even potentially do that. Although Frozen Banshee can be a little bit of a liability coming in here, so I think this might be a more guaranteed way to get through 20, but Frozen Banshee might make it a little bit faster. So then that's going to be Dragon. Spider's Den, I don't know what we're looking at here at all, so let's go ahead and see. This all looks fine for this level. Except Rotos. Rotos isn't really a spider champion, so I mean, let's see. What would be good here? We are against a spirit level, so maybe even that. I mean, blocking the damage would be pretty solid going forward. Stagnite would be the one taking the hits, which is fine on this setup. Interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and run this and see what happens. Obviously, we haven't messed with the gear too much, except on Miscreated Monster here and Apothecary a little bit. Wow, Kale is just absolutely annihilating those Spiderlings. I forget what it's like going into the earlier stages. So we've got the decreased defense up now. So we blocked most of the damage coming through, which is cool. Unfortunately, Apothecary gets slept. Got some decreased turn meter coming out there from Evil Eye, I assume. So this isn't going to be the worst thing in the world. It is a little bit slow, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut here, come back towards the end, see if we can do it. Alright, so we're coming up towards the end here, and I think we were doing pretty good. We just got another feeding, but Kale's been knocking through the Spiderlings pretty well. So I think we'll be able to progress definitely through this stage, and maybe the next one as well. So get a little bit better farm going. That's a very good amulet, so go ahead and hang on to that. So that's going to be for Spider what I'd suggest right now. Obviously, as you get into the later stages, you're going to need some different champions, like a Armiger or a Cold Heart, something that can do some turn meter manipulation. Let me see, do you have anything? Soul Bond is also very good. She will definitely help you with spiders. Royal Guard, also very good. So you've got some good stuff coming up. Sylar, also very good for spiders. So lots of good options there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Fire Knight finally. So you do have Skull Crusher leveled up now, which is going to be good for you. Interesting assortment we got going on here. Let's go ahead and take all those guys out. We are going to come in with... Let's go Fushan. He's really slow, though. I don't know if that's going to be the best choice. Actually, yeah, no, we're not going to use him. We are going to get Tayrell in the lead and get Skull Crusher in there and give that a shot. So let's go ahead and run it and just see how it goes. Oh yeah, we're just ripping through these waves now. Easy as can be. So I assume the boss is just the issue, like as far as getting his shield down, but Skull Crusher should definitely help with that. Actually, you know what? I bet Skull Crusher isn't booked. I noticed in the clan boss fight that it was falling out of rotation. I was like, why? What could it be? I bet he isn't booked and it is on a 4-turn cooldown. I'll have to check that out in a second here. But if that is the case, that would really increase our clan boss damage if we could get that done. So we've got the counterattack up. We should be good to break the shield right here. Got the decreased defense on him now. We don't land the heal reduction because we don't want to build accuracy on our Skull Crusher. But this is going pretty well so far here. Unfortunately, the preemptive strike comes off right there, so we're not going to be getting our turn meter reduction right now. Hopefully Stag can get back around and get the slow off, although he is slowed himself. Looks like he might. Doesn't land it though, unfortunately. He may not be booked or have the accuracy for it, not sure. But we're still making mincemeat of this guy, looking pretty good. So I think we're going to be looking at probably about a 2-minute, 30-second run on this if we keep it up at this pace. 2 hits left on the shield. That'll do it. Actually doing a surprising amount of damage considering there's no decreased defense up. That slow is going to help us a lot now. It's going to help us to rotate our abilities back around to break the shield faster if it comes back up. Unfortunately, we don't get the decreased defense there. But we're definitely going to be moving through this. There we go. Decreased defense is up. If we can get one more hit on him, we are done. And that's going to be it. So 2 minutes. Not bad. Not a great chest. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. So that team should be able to move you along as well. Assuming that you get the gear in order. So like I said, suggestions going forward. We need to get Dragon on farm. Use these kind of champions that I have rebuilt as a model to get them all into lifesteal gear, except Miscreated Monster. Don't put him in lifesteal gear, he's fine. If you can get him some like better crit rate or something, that'd be good. And down the line as you go up in the clan boss, you can get him more speed. Also, as you go along, you know, he could potentially come out of the team and someone else could go in. Like Mausoleum Mage, I think would be a really good choice. So if you could get him up to 60 down the line and come in his place, that way he gets up a increased defense. And an important thing that he'll do is you want him to go slower than Tyrell, with Tyrell in the leader spot. That way you can get his block debuffs on the proper rotation. So we'll see here. Once he's ascended, he places a block debuffs on all allies for 1 turn. That's on a 3-turn cooldown, so if you do a setup at the start where you use this on the turn right before the stun comes out, then he should be able to keep that out consistently and make sure that your Tyrell doesn't get stunned, which would be very good for your team, definitely up the damage. And yeah, so just bump up your speed, bump up your accuracy, and you'll be looking really good. You got a lot of good champions to work with. Let's actually look at that Skull Crusher real quick, see if he was booked or not. I'm going to go with not. No, he isn't. Yeah, so he's definitely going to be the next one to sync books in. Can we get it? Snipe shot? No, we don't. He said it was fine for me to use the books, and this is who he's going to want to do next anyways, so let's hit it. Damn. Alright. Well, luckily Skull Crusher doesn't take a lot of books, so just use them one at a time until you hit that counterattack ability, and you'll be looking really solid. But that is going to be it for today, guys. This turned into more of an advice video, so that's probably what I'll label it as. But thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below or join the Discord if you have anything you'd like to talk about, or hit me up on Discord if you're interested in an account rework like this. Always happy to get you guys scheduled in there, and thanks for watching.